5:30 in the morning and I've just got 2 days left here in Kruger National Park shooting wildlife photography. So I thought I would give you my wildlife photography tips and tricks on this episode. The last time I did a tips and tricks episode, like 50% of the people were like, this is really cool, thanks for doing this. The other 50% were like, dude, bring back the vlog. So in this episode, I'm gonna try to do the tips and tricks vlog style. And that way, maybe all of you are happy. Are you happy? Doesn't matter. That's how it's going down. So I don't know if the GoPro will show this, but I'm surrounded by hyenas. There's a hyena there. There's a baby hyena there. There's a baby hyena in my rear view mirror there. There's a little baby hyena there that's walking towards me now. There's hyenas everywhere. There's another one way down on the road. There's hyenas. There are hyenas everywhere, including these little baby pups that are the cutest thing ever. Look at this guy. That was really cool. I've been seeing so many hyenas lately that I was almost getting a little bit bored until I saw those baby hyenas were amazing. And that's a wildlife photography tip. Find baby animals. Baby animals are better than big animals. That's a fact. If you really want to photograph wildlife well, you have to get up for sunrise and you have to shoot around sunset as well. That time of day you get the animals that are most active. Especially in Africa, the cats, they don't do anything in the middle of the day. They sit in the shade, they sleep, but in the morning they might have a fresh kill or they might be hunting still. That's when you see the action. That's when you get more than just snapshots. That's when you get images that tell a full story. You also get really nice soft light. You might have a beautiful sky behind your image, or you might just have a nice soft orange glow on the wildlife rather than just a flat image. So shoot sunrises and sunsets if you're wanting to do wildlife photography well. So I've just spotted a small pride of lions, and actually one of those lions is a white lion, one of the really rare white lions. Only 1 in every 10,000 lions is a white lion. It's a part of the Impossible 5, so that's a really cool sighting, but it's really far in the distance and they're not doing much, which makes it a bit of a snapshot. A great tip for wildlife photography is to tell a story with your images. You should really be trying to tell stories. And I'm going to show you 4 images right now. The one I'm showing you right now is a snapshot of a lion eating. That's a snapshot. The second one is that same lion with the same kill, but now you see the teeth of the zebra and it's just creepy. It's got much more of a story. Now you're seeing an image of a hyena. It's a nice image, it's sharp, everything's fine, but it's a snapshot. It's just a hyena. Now you're seeing an image of a hyena with a bone in its mouth. It looks like a wildebeest bone, and you can tell it's just stolen it. In fact, had just stolen that from a lion kill. There's a story there. Tell story with your images and they'll be that much better. I don't think I can get any closer to these lions, and it's already probably too late for them to be moving, so I'm gonna move on. I spent the past 3 hours at the coffee shop here in Satara getting some work done. Was a little bit heartbroken to find out that the road I chose not to go down had a cheetah on it this morning. So bad luck, that happens. It's the middle of the day now, so it's not a great time to game drive, but I gotta get to my camp, which is Skakusa Camp, and it's like a 3-hour game drive away. So that's what's gonna happen for the next 3 hours. Hopefully see something, but it's the middle of the day, so if I don't see anything, it's really not the end of the world. There's a big bull elephant just over there, and I wanted to give you my next photography tip for wildlife. And that's that you can't just think about the animal, you have to think about the background and foreground. There shouldn't be distracting elements, and it should be nice and clean. And even better, if that background or foreground can somehow lead the eye towards the animal, it'll just make your image so much better. I made it to Skukuza Rest Camp and it's really, really, really hot today. And I wish I had a lodge rather than the camping, but I'm gonna have to do the camping. So let's get the tent set up and then head back out this afternoon for another game drive. There's definitely more wildlife activity happening here in the Skukuza area, but a lot of it's quite far away in the river areas, and it's also way more foliage here, so it's harder to hit the animals as well. There was a baboon at the side of the road. I couldn't really get a photo of his face, but it kind of made me think of the next photography tip for wildlife, which is shoot the eyes. With animals, just like people, the eyes have all the drama, all the emotion, so you need to photograph those eyes to get that drama. Now, I'm gonna continue on. I just saw a couple of lions, but they were way back in the bush and hard to photograph, and they were in a distance, so I'm gonna keep looking for some wildlife here in this area, and I'll check back in a bit. You guys ready for the most exciting wildlife sighting of the day? There's a tortoise on the road. Time to photograph him. Now that I've just photographed the tortoise, I want to give you guys another wildlife photography tip and technique. And one of these tips is to not cage the wildlife with your crop. A lot of new photographers will crop way too tight on the animals. They'll try to get the entire animal in the frame and they'll not leave anything in front of the animal's face or in the direction the animal's looking. I'm going to show you one image I just took for example's sake right now of the tortoise where the whole thing's in place, and you can see there's no story there because there's nothing for that tortoise to move into. There's no movement available. He feels caged by the crop. Now the image that you're seeing now, there's room in the front of the tortoise for it to move, for it to walk. There's space for that story to develop and to grow, and that's what we mean by not caging the wildlife with your photograph. It's been really, really quiet on this game drive, and you know it's been quiet when a tortoise is the most exciting thing you've seen. But I've still got an hour until the gates close, so let's keep moving. The sun's just gone down and the gate's about to close, so I've got to get back to the rest camp. It kind of goes to figure that the one day that I do like a wildlife photography tips and techniques video is the one day out of like 10 days on safari here in Africa that I really don't have that many sightings. But that's just how it goes sometimes, and that's how wildlife photography is sometimes. So I'm heading back to the rest camp now. I'm gonna braai up a storm and then call it a night.